Hey guys, want to talk about the changes to the DOS pass just like everybody else is? We are a family that uses the DOS pass and we were approved. So let's have a talk.
Just a little texie dust.
So, I have been open before about my mother being a cancer survivor. And outside of that, I'm not going to talk about any more of her medical diagnoses. I'm just going to say that we have been using the DOS system since 2022 on our visits to Disney World. So, in fact, in May, she was approved for it. Now, we were all in the parks for like a day, and that's the thing. My mom is the perfect Disney Pass DOS user because she really doesn't ride that many rides a day. She is 74 years old. She's not getting on a roller coaster. But when she feels like meeting the characters, um, basically anything with a line that she would want to do the dark rides, she's not really in a place where she can handle a line. And I mean that from a cognitive um, view. So we will talk about that. And we'll also talk about the process that it takes to go through. The previous process, we never did a pre-approval. Previously, you could get pre-approved before your trip, and then you could set up, I do believe, 2 rides before you got into the park. That is no longer true. With the new system, once you're approved, basically it's attached to your My Disney experience there, and when you get into the park and pull up your app, you'll then be able to get in line for a ride. That is honestly the only way my mom and I had ever used it. With our biggest concern is scheduling between all of her health issues, and I'll say that, and her mood staying decent as opposed to in the toddler realm. That's putting it nicely, but that's our biggest concern is I need to take care of all my mom's health needs. I can't let it wear me out at my age where I can't take care of us the rest of the trip. And I need to keep her in a good mood. And sometimes that's not the easiest. But with the DOS Pass, it should be way better. So the process this time, since we talked about the old process where we would just show up, get approved, get in line, this time you need to do it before you leave. And it is a Zoom call. Basically, I got online and I just chatted with regular Walt Disney World customer service. Then they gave me a link on my computer to pull up that put me through to the part of customer service that's actually doing the DOS interview. From there, we were told who would be doing the interview, given a link to pull up Zoom, and then given time to get it all updated and do that. Once the Zoom call started, I'll tell you that basically they had 2 basic questions like, why can you not stand in lines at Disney World? Explaining what sort of keeps you from being able to do that. And I think the question that is more important now that wasn't really asked before, what accommodations do you get outside of Disney World? If you're someone who, yeah, it's hard to stand in those lines, but honestly, you're not getting accommodations anywhere else, that's where they're drawing the line. And I will say, my mom's accommodations are she has a full-time caretaker. I am her full-time caretaker. She doesn't do some of the basic things unless I remind her it's time to eat. It's time to do this. You know what I mean? And I think that's where they're looking at cognitive disabilities. Like I said, they asked us what accommodations are taken for you outside of Disney World. And when she gave me an example, she was like, for example, going to the grocery store or going to the movies. And it was easy for me to answer that because my mom does not go to the grocery store with me. That is something I take care of when there is someone available to take care of her, meaning my daughter or my husband. That is not, there's no keeping her in a good mood in a grocery store environment. No. It's kind of like when your child is really small and you make sure dad's home before you go grocery shopping. It's like that. The second part was super easy also. If my mom, number one, she doesn't know any movies that are coming out, but if she were to catch a commercial and see a movie that she just would beg me to go see, we would drive 2.5 hours away to a movie theater in San Marcos, Texas. And we did do that when the Spider-Man movie opened. I wanted to see the last, with all the Spider-Men in it, I think No Way Home. And that wasn't too terribly, like, she'd been out from her surgery like 10 months. We were 10 months from a lot of things, and she really didn't follow the movie, but she was able to sit in the car and smoke her cigarette and be happy. So I was able to see the movie. And so sometimes that's what we have to do. And that's what they're asking is, what accommodations do you have in your day-to-day life that transfer over to needing the disability pass at Walt Disney World? I know that sucks for a lot of people because, I mean, some of the videos I have seen, I mean, I know it's not cognitive, but like, I mean, it seems like a real disability, you know what I mean? And I think that's what's falling through the cracks. And let's be honest, Disney hasn't had the best press as of late. I mean, even my husband was discussing the fact that, you know, just because we signed up for Disney Plus doesn't mean they have a right to kill me in the parks by negligence. You know what I mean? So there's just a lot going on sometimes with Disney. They're a corporation. We might be fans of the art and the, you know, everything that comes from it and the fun. I love Disney World. I love the parks. But, you know, Disney's a corporation. And I think that's kind of obvious. So that's our update on the DOS system. We were approved because, like I said, we do make accommodations for my mom outside of Disney World. So that process was easy for us. Honestly, the whole process from start to finish was probably shorter than this video. Like, we really just sat there. She asked those questions. She was happy with the answers we were given, so she just went ahead and approved the process. And like I said, she explained that it is different now. We do not preset any rides. You don't have anything before you go in the parks. And for me, that's perfect. Because honestly, I can't schedule my mom a ride at 10 o'clock in the morning. I can plan on my mom rope dropping with me, but my daughter and her fiance are there. She might stay at the hotel with them. I don't know. She may go later in the day in the park. I don't know. We might get to Florida and she says, you know what? You need to get a refund for my tickets. I'm not going. I don't know what's going to happen. I say that because it happened 1 year, even before the surgery. We went 1 year and she used 1 day of a 2-day ticket and they refunded us the second day because she's over 70 at that point, and they were kind enough to do that for us. Doesn't happen all the time. And on that note, we'll end the video. Remember to be nice to cast members. And yeah, the process has definitely changed. And I feel bad for the people that have now slipped through the cracks that definitely deserve it.
Hey, come back, wherever you are. Oh.